Hey y'all, welcome into Simply Blossoming Tarot. I'm Gigi and this is my channel. Hope you guys are doing well. Right now, I hope everybody is like staying grounded because it is a lot of hectic energy going on. And that's what I'm here to talk about. Right now, really lean into your practices, your rituals, your wellness, how to stay calm. Don't do too much, okay? Don't be around folks who you know. Like if you get an invite somewhere, and somebody there, there's bad blood or there's a history there, steer clear, okay? Um, we're not the month of August. We're getting ready to talk about the month of August. I'm getting ready to dive into the astrological forecast for the whole month. I really want to just like get back to it because I love like on that last week of each month starting to focus on the new month, looking at all the astrological transits that we have, taking a deep dive into the energy that we will be working with, right? Because no matter what transit is going on, no matter what energy is happening in the cosmos, there is still a God that sits high and sees low, right? And life still goes on. So when we hear like, oh, it's Mercury retrograde, everybody wants to shutter themselves in, and it kind of reminds me of the old days when they would have red moons or eclipses and things of that nature. And it would scare them. It would cause some sort of hysteria. You know what I mean? Like, we're not trying to get into all that. We're not trying to promote that. Living in fear energy, fear doesn't help anything. But we do want to identify the energy that we're facing and then create how to work around that energy or how we can use that energy best for us because life doesn't stop, you know. So right now I guess we'll go ahead and start with we are currently in Mercury retrograde, and I want to say it's retrograde in the sign of Leo, I want to say. But with Mercury retrograde, Mercury is the planet of communication, travel, thought, thinking, planning, organizing, piece and parts that you put together, like mechanical things, and a little bit I feel technology too, because communication or whatever. Technology is more connected to Aquarius energy, but because we use technology for communication, all of that, the tech part of communication and direction and navigation and traveling and all of those things. People don't believe in Mercury retrograde until they start to pick up like, oh my God, what is going on? Like, people they have short fuses. They feel like they can't arrive to places on time. They feel more tired. They feel like they're having brain farts. Oh, I thought I sent that email, but I didn't. Sending the text to the wrong person. It's a lot. It's a lot of energy and mishaps and glitches and things like that. I even think weather is kind of like tied into it, even though that's more of a Neptunian thing, I guess you could say. But August 11th, Mercury retrograde is over and it's going direct. It's going direct. So, but we still have like a 2-week little shadow phase or whatever. So at this time, and this is like the run of the mill, we say this all the time, plan accordingly. Mercury retrograde is a time to kind of like sit still a little bit. Still, like, I feel like it's kind of like third house. Like the third house is fine, right? Going over to your siblings' home, going over to your friend's home. It's like, it's a good time to be like local, take care of your business, do your grocery shopping, cook a good meal, sit down and read. But if you must make important decisions at this time, you just like make sure you're reading things over and over again. Make sure you have like a good clarification of what's going on. Be slow to anger, which we should always be, but be slow to anger and try to communicate as best as you can. Take pauses, take breaks, recenter, like, all these things. But it's a good time just to kind of get with self, and to kind of avoid the crowd. It's a good time to like go to that mom and pop diner or coffee shop or one of the restaurants that are on the off beaten path, like stuff like that, Even if you decide to like travel at this time, there has been like traveling has just been very, very crazy due to a lot of weather happening. So yeah, watch the weather and ensure that things are going in your favor, and if you can, try to go in another direction. And the thing is, God is God, and that we can't battle God, we can't battle weather, Mother Nature, or anything like that, All right. So for the month of August, there is a challenging aspect with Mars. Dude, man. So Mars is that planet of fight, energy, competition. It's a good energy for like working out and exercising and like all these things, but on a global energy, we already have like inflamed global issues right now. So, and then the aspect is Mars into Libra. Libra does rule government, it rules companies, and it also rules like partnerships, relationships, business partnerships. So even right now in the love department, a lot of relationships will start to feel kind of very it's like this. It's like principled. Like if they're codependent dynamics, because Libra is a sign that's about balance. So if you are in a relationship where there is imbalance, like somebody is paying like financial imbalance, emotional imbalance, I feel like I'm showing up, I feel like I'm doing everything for the kids, I feel like I'm paying all the bills, I feel like I'm da 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 da. All of that is going to give somebody something to fight for, and it's gonna be in a way of people seeking justice in their relationships with that Libra energy. I feel like this is unfair. Libra is all about justice, balance, and fairness. And so there may be a lot of, with that Mars energy, like, I'm fighting for, and even some, like if, I don't want to trigger anybody, but if there are any toxic relationships, this may be the month where it's like, I'm fighting for my freedom. I'm fighting to get out of this situation because I feel oppressed in this situation. We may see a lot of protests pop off. We may see a lot of, because we also have a Saturn aspect. Let me just get to that so then we can talk about it all. Okay. Okay, yeah. So Mercury is going direct in Leo, August 11th. We're right around the corner from that. Challenging aspect. Mars into Libra until the 27th of September. Okay. But that starts August 6th. We're about 5 days away from that. Mars and Libra does not get along. Okay. Mars is not in its ascendant. It's not exalted in Libra. It's total opposite energy. Libra is the pacifist. You know what I'm saying? Libra does not want the confrontation. Mars wants all the smoke. So there's that energy is really, really, really polar opposite, y'all. It really, really is polar opposite. And we're gonna have to slow down and be very intentional about what we're doing. Like, it's not a good time to, I'm not gonna say like if there's a bully situation and somebody wants to stand up and protect somebody, or like things like that can start going awry. So be intentional before you insert yourself into certain conversations, into inflammatory situations, especially people's marriages, business partnerships, relationships, best friend dynamics, and stuff like that. Leave these people alone to deal with their own situation. Okay, period. And I would say including the kids too, because Libra is about relationships and partnerships and marriage and best friends and stuff like that. So like whatever is attached to that, leave all that alone. Okay, leave all that alone unless you are a lawyer. Okay. Hey, I really hate to say that, but this is very inflammatory energy that we're under the month of August. That's why I was like, it is a good time to ground. It's a good time to even take a social media break, especially if you're Aquarius, because I feel like a lot of this is happening in the third house for Aquarius, and I know we have a big Aquarius collective. So it's about your communication, how you're communicating, and all that. Thinking about it before, and we Aquarius, we use our throat chakra and our crown chakra, our intellect and our voice, kind of like Angela Davis. Even what is that lady name? She's an actress, but she's a Sagittarius sun. But she Oprah is the same. I think Oprah is Aquarius sun, Sagittarius moon, Aquarius rise, something like that. Me and her, we have the same big three, but it's like switched around. But what is that lady's name? She's an older actor. She's did movies with Brandy. She knows how to sing. She's like old Hollywood, old actress. She wears a little afro. Oh man, I can't think of her name. She was the lady who went viral. She was like, wake your ass up. And open them windows and get out them dark rooms. I can't think of her name. But anyway, she played in the movie with Tupac in it. Is a Poetic Justice. She was his mom. But anyway, Aquarius placements, we use our voice. We have that humanitarian energy, right? So we use our voice to create change and all of that, but it could be taken wrong at this time. Somebody can feel offended or whatever it is. And at this point, though, honestly, I feel like there should be like I'm not gonna say certain levels of being offended, but like at the end of the day, we all have free will, and we have the freedom of like free thoughts, free speech, all of that. Well, right now we do. And my thing is that I don't think that I should have to sit and listen to other people talk about their ideologies that's full of hatred and full of confusion and full of incorrect information, negative energy, division, and all that is low vibrational. And so the thing is that we're kind of like in an energy where if you are spreading positivity, if you are speaking up when it comes to equality, when you are speaking facts and you're being informed and you are an expert and you have the degree, you know what I mean? And you come from a place of love that, you need to be quiet, So for me, I feel like there needs to be more clarity of like offensiveness, because the thing is that I don't have to have the same religion as you. I don't have to have the same sexuality as you. I don't have to have the same ideology as you. You know what I mean? And the thing is that people can be ostracized or punished or whatever for like literally doing the right thing. But that's the thing. Some people feel that doing the right thing can be debated. If you are operating out of the energy of love, you are doing the right thing. If you are operating out of the energy of truth, you are doing the right thing. But so the Aquarius collective, I think that we have to like soften our communication, because we're very, very blunt people and we don't like beating around the bush, so just watch out for that. All right, so the next one is Mars opposition to Saturn and Neptune. Guys, this is like, and this is until August 11th. This is a lot. Saturn is about government. Saturn is about foundation. It's about maturity. It's about structure. Neptune is that energy that's kind of like confused, you know what I mean? It's connected to water, you know, but it's dreamy. It's not like super grounded. Right now is a very good time to watch the intake of drugs, alcohol, medicine, pills, things of that nature. Not a doctor, but I'm just saying that it's not a good time. And also you have to watch that, because when you have an opposition energy, this is going heads up, right? But all of this energy is opposing that Mars energy, Mars in the Libra. And then again, Libra is also connected to governmental energy. Libra and Saturn are both connected to karma. Okay, so we got to keep our heads on a swivel right now. Okay, we have to keep our heads on a swivel right now, and just kind of stay grounded and like stay out of the way. I'm just gonna be very, 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 very honest. But there is that today or yesterday? Venus is moving into Cancer, so that can like help us. We do have like a little bit of a trine energy coming up. Trying to see, where did I? Mars, Uranus, and Pluto trine. Okay, so we got Neptune. I'm gonna pull out all of the signs that we have here. We also have a full moon in Aquarius around the 9th. So we got Saturn. Let's see. And then today, Chiron is retrograding in the sign of Aries. So there's a lot going on here that we're going to talk about. Is that it? Let me see if I pulled everything. So I'm just pulling out all the little cards. Okay. So we have Mars in Libra, Mercury retrograde, Chiron, Saturn, opposition, and Neptune. So this is very massive energies. Okay. All right. So watch out specifically. Libras may be, and okay. So Libra, Virgo, Pisces, Capricorn, Aries. Is that it? A little bit of Aquarius, because I still recognize Saturn as Aquarius ruling sign. Okay, if you have a lot of Capricorn in your chart, that you just know your chart, know the energy that's flowing through your chart, and like what you need to pay attention to or not. Because I feel like Capricorns are needing to focus more so on the opposition with Neptune. Capricorns may find themselves butting heads with people who are like out of reality, people who very imaginative, people who are stuck in the past, because the thing is, like, we talk about delusion, like Neptune is connected to that delusion, illusion, confusion, fantasy, escapism energy. And the thing is that some people are caught in an illusion because they are so focused on the past, but they're in the past and everybody else is in the present. So they keep talking about the past, keep bringing up the same thing, and Neptune is connected to the energy of like forgiveness and spirituality. But also you have like a little bit of self-sacrifice. That's what I was saying. A lot of, especially with that Libra, Mars in the Libra, and then Saturn in opposition to that, and then you have that Mars opposition to Saturn and Neptune. People who feel like they have been self-sacrificing, people who feel like they have been in unfair situations. Shoot, I was trying to make sure my share was up. People who feel like they have been in unfair situations and have been getting the short end of the stick. And this is, it's a lot going on. And this is globally, but especially in relationship dynamics, even contractual dynamics with Libra here, a lot of people will be fighting, contracts, legalities, certain things like that. They have the courage to go heads up with opposition and oppression and things of that nature. But I also think that with today, Chiron retrograde in Aries, I think this is playing a part into it a little bit, because Aries is like, it's funny. You know how the fourth house is connected to Cancer. And the Cancer, the fourth house is connected to home. But I recognize the first house as home. I recognize the fourth house as external, because we are first home within our own bodies. Even like when we're born, like the first vessel that we have is our bodies. Like a lot of people, they look at the external family as like the home and the foundation. But the real foundation is us, the first house. Now, the importance of the fourth house is that is our external. That's what is around us. That's what we grew up in. So when you have the first house going into the fourth house sitting there, well, yeah, you absorb what's going on around you and all these things. But that still does not take away your innate uniqueness, how God made you, your personality, your energy, your own foundations. And I mean, like, as you grow up, I remember growing up, and even though I feel like my upbringing was pretty solid, I'm an Aquarius too, like double Aquarius, and then Sagittarius. All of that is like positivity. I want to expand. I want to travel. I'm interested in foreign religions and foreign cultures. I have a uniqueness. I have a certain style, but I'm also interested in that whole. I have always been attracted to like that Xenon Ezekiel vibe. Very spacey vibe, you know what I mean? Futuristic vibes, tech vibe, like all of that. So like that first house, that Aries energy, that is just about how God made you for real. Like when God spit you out, right? This is your pure self, who you are, who you were born to be. Now sometimes you go into that fourth house, you go into the home, you go into that foundation, and you start to be learned things, taught things, and then you kind of disconnect from that innate uniqueness of like who you are, that essence, that spirit that God like made you, created you in. And that is literally when we get into, okay, well, now we're grown, we're adults, you're in therapy. I have to unlearn these self-limiting beliefs. I have to unlearn this, da 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 da. But first, we are our homes, okay? But going back to what I was saying with Mars and Libra and things being unfair, and then people like not being very like clear or whatever, right? A lot of people who feel like their individuality is being stifled right now. It's funny how this works, though. It's funny how it's like, it's amplifying this energy. Almost as if God was like, this is what we need to be working on, okay? Because what's connected to the Chiron retrograde in Aries is like radical self-acceptance, courage, healing deep and hidden traumas that's connected to your self-worth, your appearance, being able to accept yourself as who you are. And to me, it's the home sign. And so right now, Chiron is asking us, how are you redefining home? You know what I mean? Like, what are you identifying with? How are you redefining home? What feels like home to you? What do you identify with? What do you have to work on in terms of like how you feel about yourself, your self-esteem, your self-worth? What's taking away from your self-worth, right? Now going back into Mars, into Libra. Libra, again, is external. It's connected to community. It's connected to class, where we follow the social class and things like that. It's connected to the deals that we make. Okay, you're my best friend. Cool. Okay. I work at this job. Cool. So it's about when you redefine yourself, Chiron retrograde, right? In Aries, when you start to redefine yourself, who you are, finding your self-worth, guess what? You start to show up in the external relationships with Libra, that energy, your work, the contracts, the karmic contracts that you sign, your relationships, how you relate to people start to change because how you relate with self is renewing and changing. So even though this is like and I do think that there is a lot of opposition. There's a lot of Mars energy, right? And then freaking Mars is Chiron's ruler because Chiron is the wounded warrior, okay, or the wounded healer. It just kind of like circles back around, and it's funny because like when you research this stuff and you really have knowledge of like what represents what and what energy is behind what, it's almost like God is reiterating, hey, we have to work on these things, all right? And we have a lot of issues mentally. That's all I was saying. Mars is a warring spirit. It's the energy of impulsive, it's impatient, it's angry, it's a drive, what drives people. And it could be what drives people to take action. It could be what drives people, what triggers people, basically, right? But the thing here, though, is I was getting ready to make a really good point. Okay, when people, all right, Chiron retrograde Aries, when people are not in alignment with themselves and their self-worth and their identity, and they feel as if they can't live authentically in some way, shape, or form, they have a warring spirit inside. Okay, so I think that there is a lot of energy that is happening within the internal, right? There's a lot of energy, warring energy, trying to work things out within the external, Mars into Libra. So you got people fighting internal battles, you got people fighting relationship battles, you have people fighting karmic battles. There is a lot. And so the reason why the energy is so like hectic right now, all these freaking planets is retrograde, baby. Pluto, is Mars? No. Mercury, Chiron, could be Uranus. I haven't fully checked into that, but there are a lot of retrograde planets right now, and a lot of people are like, why do I feel so tired? Why do I don't feel motivated? Why do I, And I tell people all the time, whether you believe in astrology or you don't, you are affected by the energy, especially people who are sensitive to energies, like Aquarius. And then astrology is energy, is cosmic, okay? Aquarius is very sensitive to cosmic energy. Air signs are very sensitive to cosmic energy. Water signs are more so tapped into, I feel like fire signs are connected to cosmic energy as well. But earth signs could be a little disconnected. And then water signs, they're connected to like that emotional, intuitive energy. They're connected to like, they can feel the energy of where they're at. You know what I mean? They can feel the energy of where they're at. Now, they also feel the energy in like Pluto. Well, they could be because Neptune is here. Like the planets that they are connected to, they do feel that that energy, okay? So we have a lot going on. Mars in Libra is screaming protest, is screaming justice. It's the energy of just trying to restore balance, but Mars is the energy of force. So know that whatever is going on though, on the opposition side, so Libra is like, well, that's what it's given. It's given like Libra is popping out more so as the rebel, which is like, that's not normally their energy. They fight for justice, but they do it in a, in a very classy way. They do it the right way. they 9 times out of 10 do it like very contractually, okay, or they do it through their art and things like that. We also can see that coming too as well, like protest music, protest art, things of that nature. But no, at the same time though, and this is why I was saying it's a topsy-turvy energy, because you're getting this activated energy to like stand upright for justice, right? But there is a hard opposing energy that is, especially Saturn and Mars. Oh my God, that's like your granddaddy or your boss, or that's like defeating Bowser. You know what I'm saying? That's like Bowser rising up, and you like little Luigi. You know, but Luigi did win. But I mean Mario. It's like you defeating Bowser. Like, you know. You dealing with the Undertaker at this point. You know, so it's justice and opposition just totally like just clashing. And then Saturn is cutting up too. Saturn rules discipline, structure, time, responsibility, difficulties, challenges, growing, the things that mature you. It's the bones of everything. So with Libra Saturn, I don't know why I keep getting like big corporations. I feel like foundational things, big corporations, government. We're gonna see some things come out in the news, especially around contracts. Okay, contracts. And also, this is the time where you need to be safe, okay? Because the energy is all wonky and willy-nilly. All right? It's just all wonky and willy-nilly. Again, Saturn connects to 3D connections. Again, Libra is contractual, kind of like 3D, right? Karmic connections is getting ready to get the business. Karmic connections is getting ready to get the business. If you are in a karmic relationship at this time, honey, you just get prepared. If you don't know what's karmic, because it's a lot of like, I feel like people can have relationship psychosis because like all the twin flame stuff or whatever. I feel like people who are in karmic relationships but who have tried to dress it up as like a twin flame thing, the rug is getting ready to be pulled up underneath that. But a lot of people do that. People who stay in relationships and they want to fix it and fix it and fix it and fix it, they use these facades. Oh, this is my soulmate. This is my divine counterpart. This is my This is my masculine. This is my feminine, my divine feminine, all these things. All of that is just getting ready to be broke up, okay? In a way of like, and again, Saturn and Neptune, Jesus and Mars, Lord Jesus. Saturn and Neptune is like, Saturn is like the person who has lived it, experienced, and who's mature and wise enough. And then it's talking to someone who is very Neptune, somebody who's very imaginative and dreamy and just kind of like fly by the seat of their pants. And they're just like really, it's almost given like spiritual psychosis a little bit. Where like there's this one guy online, he thinks that he's a reincarnated Jonah the whale, Jonah in the belly, in the whale. Another one feels that he's a reincarnated Merlin. And so it's like if a person who was like very matured and structured and very real, because Saturn is connected to that Capricorn energy where it's like, I need to see real results, like I need to see real things. And then you have a person who like thinks that they're Merlin and they're like, oh, I'm all this, like, and then I'm in the ether, and then I'm in the 4th division, and I'm in the 5th dimension, and and then we have a quantum, that is getting ready to clash. Or even like, no matter what it is, like a person who is like, hey, I'm married, or hey, I'm moving for this job, or hey, hey, I have to save $5,000. And the other person is like, oh, well, let me see. Well, hey, like I just saw this apartment and it's $3,000 a month, and I think that it's like it's a real person or a real energy, that it's real solid energy dealing with the unsolid. Like Neptune energy is okay when like you're wanting to write a book, or when it's the energy of fantasy and it being empathetic. And I'll use that as a analogy. Saturn isn't very empathetic. Saturn wants to see that, okay, well, I will help you and I will reward you if I see discipline within you. Neptune is like, oh, I feel sad for you, and so I'm going to help you. And then boom, Neptune goes walking themselves into a messed up situation trying to help somebody who was never really trying to even help themselves. You see what I'm saying? So, or feeling like enchanted, or feeling like, I'm telling y'all, people who are in relationships right now, this is like, and I love this energy because I'm an Aquarius, but I do have like Capricorn planets. But I like dealing with, and it's funny because I'm woo woo at the same time. So it's like, I love when people's bubbles are burst. Like, I love, because the thing is that if your bubble isn't burst, you're going to continue to be whatever it is that you're falling, whatever facade, delusion, illusion that you're falling underneath. And, in life, it takes real communication, not, oh, I think I'm telepathically connected with somebody and all these things. Can you pick up the phone and talk to that person? Yes or no? Like, this is the energy that we're like combating, I totally believe in divine counterparts and divine relationships and things like that, and karmics and twin flames and like all these things. But what love most teaches you is how to come back to yourself. If you're in a karmic dynamic where you're doing this, that, and the third, right? Or you're being used, basically, that relationship is trying to show you or navigate you back to yourself. You know what I mean? When people are in these woo-woo, la 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 la, people can get over on you because you're in that Neptunian energy, and then you get put in a bad spot, So it's learning your strengths and weaknesses and your blind spots, because sometimes with that Neptune energy can become a blind spot, being very idyllic, right? Instead of seeing the real of the situation, constantly leaning on, oh, this is, a spiritual aspect, constantly leaning on a spiritual aspect, versus respecting the actual energy, respecting the actual person, respecting the actual situation, being real in the situation, okay? And it's funny because life is just all about a balance. I believe in realism. I believe in spirituality. And that's the whole point of spiritual discernment, and having your rituals and your spiritual practices and praying to God, but also showing up. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times people are praying for things, and they're praying for people. Like they're praying for desires, Mars. They're praying for certain desires that they want, but they're very unclear. But God is always clear. You know what I mean? Like, they're praying for these things, but they're not in the right headspace to begin with, Okay, but Saturn connects to third party. It could be third party, but 3D connections. So karmic connections, business partnerships, sexual dynamics, things that are connected to the 3D. Oh, I'm with this person because they have money. Oh, I'm with this person because this is how it looks. Oh, I'm with this person because of sex. All these things. So, now people who have been disillusioned by partners could be waking up as well. I said that Relationships that has one partner who's ungrounded, Neptune, and the other who's very practical and grounded, that's Saturn. Major endings. Take your time right now. Also, Neptune is connected to water and Mars is connected to fire. So anything that is connected to those energies, whether it's the engine combustion like in a car, whether it is being on a boat in the water, the mechanics that drive things, watch out for like road rage or doing things out of anger, being impatient. And then we still have Mercury retrograde. Right now, a lot of people are very impatient. Like, it's just a good time to, and I'm not saying like, oh, separate yourself from the world, but like, it's a good time to just be like, I'm at home cooking, I'm catching up on my TV shows, I'm watering my plants. Like, it's a good time to just kind of like be at peace, write things out. It's a good time for healing, you know. But it's just, you know, taking your time, especially with Mercury. So you have Mars, which is connected to like the engines, the motors, and things of that nature. And then you have Mercury, which is connected to like how things communicate, how things send information, right? And travel and things moving around, you know, and working and all of that. Things are just a little wonky right now. But yeah, you know, there may be certain things to come out about folks being angry, a force, somebody using some sort of force, being forceful, from an emotional standpoint with the water energy here. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. All right. Yeah, do not rush into things. And don't rush to put yourself in harm's way. I mean, nobody wants to do that. But like, oh, I'm defending this person. Oh, what you did. It's trying to be the hero and then it just goes totally left, right? Or you're trying to be the hero and the person you're trying to save is in on it, you know? You know, right now is look out for yourself. And then even if like with Neptune's, like right now, people who could be dealing with alcoholism, addiction, like drugs, medicine, like things of all this, all that nature, there could be people who are not in their right state of mind and you may not know, you know, or you may not be aware of. You just have to be very spiritually discerning at this time. Hold on, because I gotta wipe my nose. I feel like I'm coming down with a little something. Woo. Hoo-wee. All right. All right. Now, on August 9th, we have a full moon in Aquarius. Aquarius is about community. It's about tech. It's about science. It's about the internet. It's about AI. Sorry, y'all. Lord. Ooh-wee. Okay. Yeah. Aquarius though is about the full moons are about releasing. And it's funny though cuz I feel like this is a good time to be doing the work. You know, I think this is a good time for healing right now. It's almost like a good time to just like shut off the news and just to get in alignment with self and your own healing, how you're in your own way, identifying the places and spaces that you have to accept about yourself, being very true about, you know, who you are, what your story is, where you come from, and then rewriting that narrative. You know what I mean? Right now is a good time to go within and to identify what it is that we need to release. And full moon in Aquarius, this is funny because Aquarius is connected to technology, social media, and it's also connected to ideas. So around August 9th, you may innately have the energy of like, you know what, I'm going to move away from this ideology. I'm going to move away from this platform. I'm going to move away from this community, you know. Having that vibe of like, you know what, I think I need to release this. And I think I need to get in realignment with who I really am. Aquarius energy is the alien, you know. Aquarius energy is very unique and is the individual. And that goes back into the Chiron retrograde in Aries, which is talking about individuality. It's talking about self-acceptance. It's talking about the hidden wounds of trauma, self-worth, your appearance, radical self-acceptance, courage at this time. Like, all of this is just like, it's like the planets is just making out. And we're going to heal this, and we're going to heal this, and we're going to heal this, you know. So, very much so loving that. All right. Very much so loving that. It's funny though, because I feel like for me personally, I'm already a person who stays out of the way. I'm already a person who takes their time. You know, I'm already a person who checks in with self. Right now, what I can say about myself is I'm in a more of a resting mode, but it's a positive thing because I was doing a lot, and it's funny because I think a lot of the planets were direct. I was doing a lot. I was like overworking myself, and I've slowed down and I've stopped doing that. But now I'm in the energy of like, okay, you got to do something. You got to do something, but once I'm well rested, I'm like, all right, you got to get up and work out. You got to get this done. Gotta post this, gotta do that, you know. And when you are in that energy of like, you gotta, and then if you don't get around to it, then you have that. So it's that energy of like, almost like being a racehorse, and I gotta do something, I have to perform, I have to, you know. I'm working on that aspect, you know, just you know, honoring that I do need rest and these things, whatever. So, and maybe with that Chiron retrograde in Aries, that's me having to figure out all that, but that is connected to self-acceptance, you know. Have to, like, I literally, though, it's funny because I got up and I didn't get up like super early in the morning, and then I was like, well, I need to start getting up early in the morning so I could do more things and and then I just stopped and I was like, girl, you've never been a morning person. My sister is a morning person. Like, girl, you've never been a morning person. So why are you beating yourself up about something that is kind of like unrealistic? And that's that Saturn, okay, Mars opposition to Saturn and Neptune, but that Saturn and Neptune energy, like Neptune is like this idyllic social media idea that, oh, you know, you need to wake up at 5 o'clock, 5 to 8 o'clock in the morning and do all these things. But Saturn energy, Capricorn energy is like, well, no, this is what's real for me. And then being able to take time to yourself to identify that, you know. And then go into that Chiron energy, that retrograde Chiron in Aries, and Lord, Chiron retrograde in Aries energy, and moving into having courage to own that. To be like, you know, I'm not a fucking late riser. I mean, I'm not a fucking early riser. Or whatever, you know. You know, they say the early bird gets the worm. But maybe I don't want my worm at that time. Or maybe, like, I'm the one, like, well, I got that hustle in me. I got that dog in me. So I can get a worm at any time. Like, I don't have to be up early in the morning. Like, I know how to make it work for me. And that's all about that radical self-acceptance and that courage. And, like, and this is how I'm identifying home. Home is in me. This is what I identify with. These people on social media, Aquarius full moon energy, can identify with all of this. But let me tell you something. I have courage to identify with, bam, who I really am. Home, Aries. This is me, that first house, my individuality, how I come off, what I, you know, my, because the thing is, I was supposed to say my pros and cons, my strengths and weaknesses. Because the thing is that not waking up super early in the morning is not a super bad thing. A lot of the science and a lot of the data and a lot of the information is saying that a lot of humans are discounting rest. It's funny because a lot of Americans are aging like cottage cheese, honey. Aging badly. Like something has gone rancid. Like something has soured, okay? And not identifying that it's from the energy of overworking. Just literally not getting enough rest. People say, "Oh my God, I can't believe you in your 30s, la 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 la." I have got my rest all my life. Like all of my life. Even my dad was like, "Why that girl sleep so much?" La 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 la. And he's a Cancer, early riser. I'm the oddball out with everybody. No, me and my mom, baby, we gonna be in snooze town. My sister, my brother, dad, up at the crack of dawn. But we'll be working later in the day though. You know what I mean? So my life revolves around sleep, and I like that. Some people's life revolves around like work. Like I make sure that I put my work schedule in alignment with like my sleep schedule, to where I know that I'm not walking around tired, I have an attitude, I'm not well rested, because I like when I don't have a lot of rest, I feel like something is off. And I don't like feeling like that. You know? Like I don't like having to show up and be prepared and doing all this stuff and whatever, and I'm not well rested, and you just kind of feel like just out of sync, I don't like that. Okay. So that is what I have for the collective for the month of August. Virgos should already be on watch for Mercury retrograde. Their energy is going kind of dampering down. Libras can be a little feisty, or Libras can be going through opposition at this time, or fighting for something at this time. Aries, same energy. Well, Aries may be having things going on within their relationships at this time. Aries is like, you said that. Now, it could be Aries or whoever they're dealing with, but it's in the connection. This is what you agreed to, and this is what you're not doing. And so that's a problem for me. And now we're going heads up. Now we're having opposition. That's happening in the, I would say the Libra and the Aries collective. Capricorn collective. People who are just kind of like not with it, not in reality right now. Capricorn is not playing that. They cannot deal with that at this time. Pisces energy, I feel like they are having a hard time with accepting the reality of what's going on, or they're leaning towards spirituality or religion to kind of like try to help them cope with like what exactly is going on with that Saturn energy. Aquariuses could be taking a step back from social media, or taking a step back from whatever communities, data, research, the internet, whatever. They could be taking a step back from things that is taking them away from themselves, if that makes sense. And I feel like they're doing it in a very balanced way. They're doing it in a very, it's not like you don't believe what I believe and so I'm cutting you off. It's very intuitive. It's very like that self-reflective energy. So I think that Aquarius knows what agendas, what ideas, like what's for them and what's not, or the energies, within the community. Aries is focusing on also who they are, their identity, what they want. So very funny though, because Aries may be having a lot of deep internal changes of like who they are, their individuality, their sexuality. certain traumas, how they feel about themselves, how they feel about their appearance, how they feel about the decisions that they've made that has created and manifested a life of whatever it is. Aries is really on a deep dive of trying to figure out who they are. And when you're doing that, when you're trying to figure out who you are and say you identify, right? Like Aries is re-identifying home. Okay? And that could go into, I feel like I'm screaming. And that can go into the 4th house of Cancer. Or that could go into the 4th house of home, roots, environment, what they want their family environment to look like, what changes they want to make in the family environment, how they feel about family, about what family taught them versus who they really are, what they identify with, all of that. Aries is doing a lot of work. It's a lot. And then they have something going on with their relationships as well. So Aries is kind of okay. Let's see. Gemini's is like cooling right now. I feel like, well, Gemini is connected to Mercury energy, so I feel like Gemini is kind of like cooling right now. I don't know why I got something about a book. Something about a book in a town, like just staying in town, or a bookstore around town, coffee shop around town. Like, I just think Gemini is like, they may not be, I don't know, just take it how it resonates. They may not be, there's something in Gemini's energy where it's being picked up like this. Like, if you like book talk, if you watch a lot of book talkers, you're like, oh my God, I gotta hurry up, I gotta read, I need to get these books done. And it's the energy of like Gemini not doing that. So that's just how they're showing it to me, okay? But Geminis could have been dealing with an energy where they were trying to go full speed ahead, but whatever is going on in the sphere, whether it's like things got a little complicated, you missed your flight, you've been feeling under the weather, there's something that's kind of like slowing down Gemini at the time. But they're cooling though, you know what I'm saying? They cooling, they're very adaptable, all of that. Gemini may not be as communicative right now. They may be like in their shell. They may be giving a little bit of Virgo energy right now. I'm also getting that like if someone is like trying to get you to fix things or whatever, you're just kind of like, I'll do it on my time, like that. It's just an energy of like wanting to get things done, but like there is a feeling of kind of like swimming through mud right now. What else? Oh, Taurus, Venus. Ooh, Libras kind of got a lot going on right now, because they also have an aspect with Venus also ruling Libra, and then Taurus is going into the sign of Cancer, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's happening today. And that happens every time. No. Hoo-hoo. Yeah, Venus is already in Cancer. No, or is that today? Yeah. July 30th to August 25th. But I'm trying to see. Probably should have thrown that in there. But I wanted to talk about this because I'm not even going to lie to you. Like, all this going on is kind of like dumpster fire. So you have to be able to like, oh, there's a dumpster on fire. And you have to be able to like keep it pushing, but also stay positive. Like, you know. So that's like the funny thing. That's the funny thing. Yep, Chiron retrograde in Aries. Dudes, journal, assert your boundaries, practice self-compassion, make an effort to heal your triggers. Literally, freaking spot on. This is on The Light for All. The Light for All on Instagram. Venus in Cancer. Dudes, buy new bed sheets, love people where they are at, provide a safe space for yourself and others, question your reactions and what triggers them. Don't raise somebody else's adult child. Expect others to solve your problems. Throw fits instead of processing your feelings. Require someone to change just to fit your needs. Okay. Yeah, because Cancer rules home. It's about family. It's about mothering instincts and all that. So you're going to have to hone that. So Cancers and Taurus and Libras are going to have to focus on that, on healing those aspects of over nurturing, being stuck in a comforting energy, needing to expand, basically needing to do the journals and self-reflection on, okay, am I basically enabling somebody? Like, you know, am I, like it said, don't take care of someone's adult child, right? Cancers can become that. I'm not even gonna lie. Tauruses are prone, and Libras, all three, are prone to doing that, just because that Venus energy is there, and Venus loves like the easy street, the luxury, you know, being taken care of, like, you know, all of that. But I want something a little more dynamic. Oh Lord. But this is the good part though. Like I feel like we need this though. Like I feel like this is like that soft, like nourishing, nurturing energy. Like it's just the softness, and I think that's what I'm saying. I was saying that earlier. Like stay home and cook. Like do your journaling, you know. Make home your sacred space. Water your plants, you know. Love on your plant babies, you know. Like love on yourself. Like focus on you, cuz it's dumpster fire. Like that's what I'm saying. Like do you have the ability to like walk past dumpster fire and be like don't let it trigger you. There's a lot going on globally. There's a lot of injustice going on. There is a lot of things happening, but at the same time, and it's not to be like selfish, but you have to be able to show up for yourself before you can show up for anybody else, you know? And you also have to be able to check in and make sure that, like, am I mentally in the space to deal with dumpster fire right now? If I deal with dumpster fire right now, how many pegs am I going to get knocked down on my mental stamina? Or, if I'm going through my own family trauma, and this is the thing, if everybody in the globe ran back to themselves, put the mirror towards themselves, started self-reflecting towards themselves, and working and healing on their own wounds, we will have better leaders, we will have better fathers, mothers, sisters, we will have better community. Okay, and that is how you heal an octave. That is how you heal a collective. That's how you heal energy. Okay, if everybody looked at themselves in a loving way, they wouldn't be walking around talking shit about people. It wouldn't be dumpster fire. That's what I'm saying. Stay out of the way of dumpster fire. Stay out of the dumpster fire frequency. And just be like, Venus in Cancer. I have totally been in the Venus. I've totally been in the Venus in Cancer energy. But that's just like, I've been decoloring, cleansing, but my spirit guides, my spirit teams, my angels, whatever you want to call them, like my intuition, what I have been told is to, at this time, we need to get very focused on cleansing, right? So cleanliness is next to godliness in all aspects. And it's funny because I was over the kitchen sink, and what popped in my head today was forgiveness is emotional independence. And that independence is like the closest thing towards God, if that makes sense. The thing is that we are to be leaning on God. Okay, we are supposed to be leaning on our Creator. Once we start leaning on drugs, on we just need somebody to be there, right? Whether they're toxic or not, we just need somebody. A chick was saying this, like, she couldn't really go to sleep at night because like she needed somebody in the bed with her, so she wouldn't. And that's dangerous, you know what I mean? But it is what it is. We are all on our level of healings, on healing. And it is that's where she was. But needing that, so she needed that safety blanket. Like, we're searching for too much external things. If we let the power of God activate in us, we can create a sacred space for ourselves. We can bring in comfort and warmness in our own spaces. You know what I mean? In our own rituals, in our own practices, when we work on our connection with God, we can bring in that feeling of love, bring in that feeling of warmth. And also we can manifest that for real in real life, a loving, supportive community. Like, we have to get out of being so focused on the external, when how we heal the external is the internal. Like, even I'll use this war, right, for an example. We have human beings who see other folks through the eyes of hatred, right, and division. And they discount, they no longer see the humanity. They don't see the God in anybody else or anything else outside of themselves or what looks like them. Which is totally, and I don't care what religion that you believe in, it is against all religious documents. Okay? It's against all religious texts. It's against all of that. Right? You're supposed to love one another, love your brother, love your sister. If you can't see someone as your brother or your sister, you can't see the God in them, you can't see a reason to value their life and to nourish and love and take care of them. And that is why that Cancer energy is so like, oh, Venus and Cancer, like, literally, we have the opportunity. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't believe that astrology is like runs your life. I believe that we have the choice. We have the choice. We can lean into the Mars, Uranus, Pluto trine. Trine is energy that is like just juicy and optimal, and everything's flowing and working right now, right? You have the option to lean into dumpster fire, right? You have the option to lean into that nourishing sacred space, softness, that watery cleansing energy that Venus and Cancer brings. That's such good energy. It's just like, oh, softness, like, oh, the house smells good, I'm eating good, I'm cuddled with my dog, I'm cuddled with my significant other, you know what I mean? Like, it smells good. We're going to beautiful places, to beautiful spaces. We're going to the art museum with like my favorite aesthetics. It's like just, like just eating up the lusciousness, the luxury, the beauty, and however you can. Like, finding walking past the dumpster fire and finding the Japanese rose garden park. You know what I mean? Like, we have the free will. And that's why I say astrology is astrology, and it's going to astrologe. Okay? It's just going to do what it's going to do. But we have free will to choose the energy and the vibrations that we want to be on. And if not, because like sometimes, so I kind of actually had this happen. And I was like, what's going on? So, look, I'm in my Cancer and Venus octave, right? I got my nails done, period. This happened was that like last week or whatever? I get my nails done. I literally passed up my favorite like breakfast taco spot. And then I was like, no, I'm going to get the breakfast tacos. So I do a U-turn and I go to the breakfast taco spot. Now, where I am in my local community, everyone loves this breakfast taco spot. And my nail appointment was at 10 a.m. So it's about 11 or 10:50. Yeah, shit, it's about 11. And so people are there for the breakfast tacos. Normally, I eat breakfast tacos at any time of day. I might go get some breakfast tacos after I finish this, because they're very reasonable. And that's what I said too. I was like, well, it's reasonable. It's something that I want to eat. You know, whatever. I'm nourishing myself. So I go and I'm in line, and the line is like off the the line is like, it actually had like two different lines. It was one line that was straight in the parking lot, and then it was another line where it was coming off of the road. So I'm in the road, and then I let all the people who was in line in the straight line in the parking lot, I let them go. I'm a pacifist driver. I do not believe in road raging. I'm gonna let you get over. That's just how I am. That's just how I am. Everybody, we're in our cars. Cars are weapons, okay? You have to be able to know what you're doing. So I'm just cool, calm, and collected. Let everybody go. I'm not in a rush. I got my nails done. I'm cool for the rest of the day. I'm fine. And I don't believe in doing things in a rushed way. And that's what I'm saying. Like, some of this stuff, the energy is there, but how you live your life is how you live your life. And sometimes that energy won't really affect you because of how you deal with people and your maturity and all that. So I'm in line. Let everybody go, whatever. The line scoots up, right? So the line scoots up. So even before, I'm putting my hand on the freaking gear to get it out of park, right? Before I can even do that, the lady behind me is like, boop, boop, boop. And I literally move up like, boop, right? Like, just move up. Then the car moves up. Every time it was time to move up, she was honking the horn. So I was like, okay, this lady is just a freaking lunatic. So then I get my tacos. I come out. She was behind me. So I don't know what the hell happened, but once I'm at the window, I'm on this side getting my food. She's pulled up on this side. Why? I don't know. And she has her window half down or whatever. I don't know if she was trying to road rage with me. I still don't know to this day. And then she was on the phone. I was like, I don't know if she's trying to because there's some people who are scammers, and they'll try to just call and say, and her car was messed up. It was banged up. My car is spick and span. I take really good care of my car, baby. New brakes, new tires, alignment, rotation. Is that the same thing? Alignment, rotation. New engine filter. I just did a lot of taking care of my car. I'm not gonna wood, but so I'm good. I don't know what this lady is on. I don't know if she's trying to road rage me. I don't know what the hell. So I got my tacos and I went on about my day. And that's what I'm saying. You have to be able to ignore dumpster fire. And where did I go after that? No, I went home. I went home and ate my tacos. And I was just so happy and my tacos. And I hadn't had it in a long time. I was like, ooh, my nails look so cute. Ooh, my tacos. That's what I was on. So, and I'm not telling you to bypass things that are going wrong or whatever, but it's whether you can pray for the situation, whether you can give charity to the situation, whether you can raise awareness to the situation, do what you can, but also take care of self, and know that we are humans, we're limited, and God is the end all be all. That's it, woo-wee. Well, there you have it. No, yawning. This is what we are walking to in the month of August. And I am just so happy to finally get back to a point. It's funny because I always say I'm always in alignment with the energies. I don't know how, but I'm always in alignment with the energies. And I thank God for that. But I like to do the research, and kind of have that forecast. It's getting the weather, knowing that if a storm is coming or whatever, and mapping things out. Again, I want to say, don't do too much in the month of August. It's a good month to chill. Don't do too much. It's a good time to chill. It's a very, very good time for healing right now, and to kind of put the eyes on you. And it's funny because I have been just naturally feeling I wanted to go on a social media cleanse or detox. And lo and behold, on August 9th, we have a full moon in Aquarius, which is literally like releasing, letting go. And that's connected to like technology, social media, obviously. So that is what I have for you guys. I guess we can get a card for August. Look, I have a new deck. The Listening Oracle deck and then the Emotional card deck. Let's see. What is August bringing the collective, Holy Spirit, angel guides, and ancestors for the highest good of all? Let's see. August, Holy Spirit. August 2025. Tenderness in the reverse. Tenderness is an emotion of compassion and care, filling you up with understanding and sympathy for others and yourself. When tenderness appears in your life, it reminds you to treat yourself and others with love and patience, but it came out in the reverse. This is such a beautiful card. Came out in the reverse, so I feel like Holy Spirit is saying, like, a lot of people are just not very tender at this time. They're not being tender to themselves. They're not being tender to others, you know. Isolation. Isolation is the feeling of being disconnected from others or the world. They're not tender because they're disconnected. Causing feelings of loneliness and exclusion. Isolation reminds you that solitude is also a part of self-healing, and self-discovery. And it's in the upright. A good time for isolation. Good time for self-healing and self-discovery. Let go of isolation. Seek inner connection and restore harmony with the outer world. So seeking the inner connection. So they're redefining or using two different terms of isolation. They're saying don't be isolated. Because they're saying isolation is a form of even being disconnected from yourself. So they're saying get into the energy of self-healing, self-discovery, and inner connection. And when you restore your inner connection, you restore harmony with the outer world. Let's see. And I wanted to say this as well because we kind of talked about it with that Neptune energy. When you are not in balance, when you're not in sync with when you're not in your inner connection and you're not in harmony with the outer world, that is another way to say psychosis. Okay. So they're saying that in the month of August, people are not showing kindness and tenderness and all these things because they are disconnected. Okay, August. Fear, but it's in the reverse. So they're saying fear not. Fear is a response to the unknown, reminding you to address the doubts deep within. By facing fear, also, people aren't facing fear. They're letting it run them. You will discover your courage and potential, overcoming fear and embracing greater challenges. One more for the month of August for the collective Holy Spirit for August 2025. Okay, lost in the reverse. This is kind of some heavy energy, but it's leading us to freedom. Okay, lost. Being lost is an emotion of losing your sense of direction, leaving you feeling uncertain. Being lost reminds you that sometimes confusion is necessary as it forces you to reassess yourself. There's a lot of, that's that Neptunian and Saturn energy. There's a lot of just like disconnection. People are disconnected from themselves, disconnected from God. They're disconnected from the outer world, okay? Okay, being lost reminds you that sometimes confusion is necessary as it forces you to reassess yourself. Reconnect with your inner guidance and move towards what you truly desire. There's a lot of blues here. We have 3 cards that has a lot of blues. Blue and purples. And I do feel like we're in an isolated space. Look, freedom, anxiety, joy. I honestly feel like joy is on the other side of getting through that anxiety. Ooh, we have an anxiety to leave, to do, to be free. No tenderness. And then I do think that tenderness is connected to the Venus and Cancer energy. Letting in nourishment, letting in tenderness, letting in soft touches, all of that. I see what you mean. All right, messages for August. August 2025, Holy Spirit. 2024 popped in my head. Oh, gosh. August 2025, Holy Spirit. What's coming in for the collective for August 2025? It goes around. Follow this string in the fog. So there's a vibe here of kind of just feeling like disillusioned, kind of lost, kind of isolated, kind of like trying to find one's way. And look, you have warm guardian. Look how beautiful. And again, I feel like this is that energy, that Venus and Cancer energy. And then you have the sun, warm guardian, and the sun, the warmth. Where's the warmth in your life? Oh, this is so sweet. Where's the warmth in your life? This card may identify a little stagnation in your current project. Remember we were saying that, and I feel like this is recognizing the stagnation of like all these planets in retrograde. It's offering you an opportunity to get more organized. Does your to-do list need to be updated? Does your workspace need to be tidied? Do you need to take stock of where you are in your project? What still needs to happen to bring it to life? We all love being lost in the creative process, and you have lost here as well. But bringing a project into the world often comes with many steps along the way. Staying organized in the process will help you finish the work you set out to do. So this is also the month of August. It's a lot of like, it's a good time to like reassess your projects, get organized, declutter things, get your to-do list going. And it's so funny because yesterday, so I have a whiteboard where it has like the calendar, and what I would always fill out the calendar, put my work schedule. I would list the readings that I needed to do, cross them out when I'm done. I would do like my goals for the month, whether that's working out, financial goals, or whatever. And then I would pick a mantra for the month, and like that can be, I used to call it my focus area or focus board. And it fell because I hung it up in a very like just crazy way, and it fell, and I was cleaning up and I saw it again, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna pull that out. So after I get off of here, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do some readings, but I'm gonna do that too. So like, what are the projects that you want to do? Let me see. Now for some of you, you can be the sun, you can be the warm guardian, you know. A Leo could be significant, but you can be the sun, you can be the safe space, you can be the warmth. Okay. And it says, I'm lost and now I'm found. I really feel like this lost energy is not going to be here for too long. Okay. This card is about commitment. I see what you mean. It's about getting honest with yourself and finishing your project. It's about getting real, looking at your work upside down and right side up, showing it to someone whose opinion you value, and then calling it finished. I see what you mean indicates that your work is speaking your meaning. Be really clear with yourself on what you intended. Titles can be really powerful interpretations of artwork. This book is more about like creativity. This deck is about creativity, but we can apply this, right? This card would read differently if it was called I've Seen Too Many Things. Brainstorm 3 or 10 titles for your piece. Write an artist statement. Acknowledge to yourself how the work is reading. Does the dish show you where your heart lies? Is this dance about the real pain you are feeling? Maybe your painting is showing your internal chaos externally. This is all good information. Use it to inform your audience and yourself. Ooh, this is kind of like say what you mean and mean what you say. Do titles, even like in relationships, right? Titles and labels that you tag yourself with. What does that mean? Is it truthfully? You know what I mean? So I really like that. This is also the energy of like getting a second opinion, and you see like there's like multiple eyes, multiple eyes, getting second opinions, getting advice. All right, and then 48. It goes around. Okay. I'm trying to read it to just give y'all what's it called. Oh, love this. This card is an invitation to be mindful about your attention and your intention. Okay. So this is the energy of like this is like your life is creative work. Okay. How you do things, how you make your morning smoothie, how you make your bath, how you pick out your journal that you want to write in at night. How this is like designing your life through creativity, right? That everything is creative. It says you can shift your life by being intentional with each of these acts. Notice how your body feels. Tune into the sensations around you. You may want to throw a pot, brew a tea, or sing a song based on that sunset later on. So this is the energy of they're kind of just like telling folks how to get reconnected. You're not in the fog too long, but pay attention to what you're doing. Put in your intention. You know what I mean? Put in your intentions. And I also do feel like there's a warming energy coming towards the collective or coming towards people. Because this is just an energy of just like not feeling tenderness, being isolated, needing to bring like the collective that I'm reading for or whatever. Really, really focus on the Cancer, the Venus and Cancer energy. There's a lot, or this could even be the energy of like people coming toward you who are just kind of like, you can tell something is wrong, like their energy is a little very, very guarded. They're not they're not opening up to people. And it's funny though, because sometimes you just meeting an Aquarius. An Aquarius, we're I don't want to say we're guarded, because we're open to talk to new people and all of that, but it has to be a person that we want. Like, it has to be a person that we feel in alignment with. So just because it's taking you a long time to find that and say that you honor your sacredness, your sexual sacredness and all this stuff, or you honor your energy, you don't want to just hang out just to hang out with people, because again, you don't want to put yourself in a situation where it could be dumpster fire, right? You don't want to hang out just because you feel like, oh, I'm lonely, I'm at home, or something like that. Like, you want to, like that card was saying, like, do everything with intention, So your intention should be to grow beautiful friendships and relationships, beautiful bonding connection, right? Like with the tenderness card in the reverse, tenderness has to be in a safe space. Like, you can't be tender and open and to everybody else. So I'm not saying that to people who are like, they're kind of like in their single era right now. They're doing their self-healing and all of that. And the thing is that being in that single era, focusing on yourself, doing the self-healing makes you a much better partner, right? It really just, man, it really sets the tone for everything, for life. And we have that, we have that process or that journey being a focal point with Chiron retrograde in Aries. All right, so that's what I have for y'all. That was really long, but that's the whole month basically that I felt was like really, you know, if there's anything else I get on here and like talk about it, but that's just like kind of like what we have like right now coming in August, first like 3 weeks in August, you know what I mean? August 9th, August 6th, August 11th. Some of that stuff ends, I think, like September, was it 27th or something like that. But yeah, so that's it. That's all I wanted to say. Sending y'all love and light. Peace. If this thing works, because, oh my gosh. Every time.